The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to start the show out today, something a little different. We couldn't get Mr. Hugard on the line today with his FTSE and what's the other one? DAX. They've been getting hit pretty hard. I guess his scale-down buying program is not working as well as he had hoped. And if you believe that, I still have 2 shares of the Brooklyn Bridge in my portfolio here for you. Let's just talk here just a second here. I posted a chart of Visa. Folks, I've been looking at charts for 61 years, and I have never seen as many patterns completed as I have here in the stock market here in the United States. If you look at them, they're almost all, well, many are 3 drive to a top or Gartley's or something, but maybe it may or may not mean something. I don't know. All I know is that we've had a pretty good sell-off today. Where it's going to end, I don't know, but I do believe, and I've said this before, sometime between now and the 15th of October, we will see a day where the Dow is down more than 1,200 points in one day, and we'll also see a day where it's up 1,000 points in one day. And which days those are, unfortunately, I don't know, but we'll have to look at it. I want to share with you a chart that we talked about just the other day. And if you'll let me get this up here to take a look at it. This comes from out there in the Valley of the Sun over there in Las Vegas. So Dr. T over there sent me this. And you notice here the high on the left, see the left white box there where you had the big hanging man. Then you had that really strong 3-day down move. You can see what happened here. Now, folks, what we've done now here, the down move that we had is far, far more severe than what we had, back there in May. So this is very, very important. And so we need to pay attention to that. We should get at least a 3-day down move. So probably looking around Wednesday before we get a pretty substantial bounce, and then we'll be able to see it. We've seen a lot of things that have said, well, there could be a little bit of problem here, a little bit of problem there. And one of them, of course, was the transportation index. And, that had been screaming that the darn thing just didn't want to act like it wanted to go any higher. But unfortunately, sometimes they do. And there's nothing you can do about that. But anyway, if you know what I did wrong? Shut the front door and raise the rent. I got a wrong. Oh, dear. Boy, I hope I didn't screw that one up. Just a minute here. Here it is. Let's get this transportation up, because this is what we were looking at, folks, here. And you'll see what's happened today here. Once we cracked through that 382 level, we just gapped down, and we're down quite a bit. Now, the Dow Jones Transportations and the Dow Jones Russell are now down 10%. And that's what we're looking at. Now, we have gone on the Russell. The Russell has now gone. Remember, we were 2 standard deviations on Friday. We hit 3 standard deviations today. So anything below 2,100 in a Russell is going to say, well, it's already said something's not right there. But pay attention to that, because these are where these things, really get their thing. Now, there's one market that's sitting at the moment of truth and looks like it's going to fail, but I have to share it with you. And that's one that's been in the market for everybody's been just loving this market for a long time. And they failed to take a look at what happened on the 5th of July when we had that nice little, 3-drive pattern up there at 76. That was also where they were talking about making, 6-year highs. And in fact, they did that in the Brent North Sea crude, but they did not do it in our futures here at WTI West Texas Intermediate. And now what we've done here, folks, we've come down and we've made the 61% retracement. The big problem, folks, is that line that we're in today, folks. We've dropped $5 a barrel here in just a very, very short period of time. We were looking at one of the things in the newsletter, and we talked about it here in the show here last week about how badly the metals markets were looking. Just take a look at silver here, folks. And this was silver was down $1 when gold made a new high up there. I mean, that's just unbelievable. And platinum did the same thing. And copper. Let's take a quick look at Dr. Copper. I mean, Dr. Copper has been, yelling and screaming that, hey, maybe there's something is not right here. So let's just, where are you, Dr. Copper? Please don't run from me now. Oh, he's in the futures section. Just give me 1 second, boys and girls, and we'll get it up here. And here it is. You'll see it was doing the same thing, and they've teared, you had lower highs here for the past past 3 weeks, lower highs, and now we've broken down below all those lows, and we're heading lower. So those are just tip-offs from what the chart's doing. Nothing to do with the fundamentals. I don't know the fundamentals from whatever, but that's what we're looking at. Let's take a look at this Brent crude, because we're very close to failing, and we most probably will because of that down move. It doesn't. There's a lot of people that watch these numbers, and when they fail, this is a 135 pattern, folks. And if we get much below another bucks or so here in the crude and the West Texas crude and also the Brent, you're not going to be seeing $80 oil for quite some time. So those are just a couple of them that we're watching as we go through some of these charts here today. Now, I wanted to share with you, Tom was going to try to be our guest today, but fortunately we have Shane Smalley will be our guest at that break, and he's always got some great stuff. We want to hear what the Fed is doing with their lifelines out there today, and we'll be able to see here. But we do have a market that's just a tiny bit. There's been a slight pullback here in the price of lumber. If you remember here about 4 or 5 weeks ago, they were telling us that the lumber was pretty much out of sync. There would not be any more lumber except those little twigs that they could find in the Smithsonian Institute when it was trading right at $1,700. Well, today, boys and girls, it broke $500. So it's had a tiny bit of a sell-off. I think that's more than 10%, but by my calculations, it might even be more than 20%. Who knows? Folks, when you see these things and they tell you things, you got to pay attention to what they're doing, because they can lie to you, they can cheat to you, and give you misinformation, but they can't hide from you. And that's the key to remembering this. Look what they've done to us with the semiconductors. I mean, look, the semiconductors, they're telling us big shortage. This market's gotten hammered. It's come back a little bit, but, it's still gotten hammered. So not all stocks are down. Look at NVIDIA today. NVIDIA, I saw just a little while ago on the tape, it was up like $20. So there's some people that, like to buy that stuff, which is fine. I'm just looking at the numbers. That's all I'm looking at. Just one thing at a time. That's all I do is look at the numbers. Now, several people have asked me, is this the top? I do not know, and I do not care. I don't want to be associated with the top type of personality. That doesn't make any difference to me. I want to know is what the risk is. That's what I'm looking at. And the risk up there was relatively high on some of these things. And I think the main reason, and this hasn't even come to play yet, but it's a coming, and that is this margin debt, folks. This is just day one. You get 2 or 3 days like this, and there's going to be some boys knocking on the door saying, where's the money? And that's when the problem really, really allows to move on. Now, I had another question here about the euro. We've been waiting to buy the euro. We finally got, there you go, Marshall. God bless you. There we go. We'll be right back.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the December soybean meal. That's new crop soybean oil. Let's try it again, soybean oil. And as you can see, it also has had a pretty good sell-off. The beans have dropped over 60 cents from their highs last night. And so these markets are attending, and this is a weather market, so it shouldn't be affected by supply-demand until these crops are coming in. And this is what's happening. So you got to pay close attention to what the price are telling. But you can see the three-drive pattern that we had in the December oil, and it sold off quite a bit. Now, I want to make an announcement here. On the 11th of August and on the 18th of August, I'm going to be doing live trading on both of those days. I believe it's a Wednesday. We're going to do the 11th and the 18th of August, 5 hours each day. But this is going to have a special segment. I'm going to be offering an ebook, electronic book on cryptocurrencies done by my colleague, John Jameson, and he's going to go through some of the things that we're looking at in here. I've known John for a very long time. I've watched what he does, and I'm just amazed. He told me when it was 65,000, we were going to drop 80% in the Bitcoin, and that number is at 23,000. So we want to be watching that here over the next few weeks. And of course, if the market weakens here in stocks, it might pull it down to that level, and maybe even more. But it's a very interesting story that he has. It's just something that I've been doing this a long time, folks. And if I can tell you what to do, whether you want to do it or not, I don't know. But try to attend that if you can, because you don't get your chances like this very much. I got a chance like this back in 1986 on the 5th of July. I got a card from my aunt that ran Louise's restaurant in Terre Haute, and Dr. Miller had eaten there, and she wrote on a little napkin there, that November soybeans would go off the board at August soybeans would go off the board, at, let's say, 865. I don't remember the number. I wish I'd have saved the thing, but I didn't. And I kept it, I was doing expert witnessing, and I was keeping up with my charts and stuff. But when I saw that price, and I still had that little napkin, I said, wow, that's pretty cool that did that. So I gave her a call, and she said, look, I found out something about these Fibonacci numbers that's related to astrology. She said, you ought to take a look at it. And so why don't you come down to Florida? And I did. I spent 6 weeks there. That's when I wrote the book. And this is one of those times, folks, where you get to listen to somebody that really knows what they're talking about. I don't know diddly squat about the cryptos and stuff. All I know, there's got to be some type of opportunity here because there's $1 trillion market now. It's not a tulip bulb because we've been doing this now for tulip bulbs don't last from 2010, to 2021. They don't last that long. This is something different. And I don't understand it. This might help. It may not, but it's going to be a little segment in there, probably an hour, maybe a little bit more with question and answers and some ideas. So I think it'll be well. But the main thing for those 2 days is we're going to be try to make some money on these patterns that we talk about. And with volatility that we're having here, folks, it's pretty hard not to make money on days like we have here. Just looking at the little ABCD patterns that we've seen here today in some of these things, it's just really, really mind-boggling. In fact, crude oil was the main one. The high last night, folks, was a 382 retracement when we were up there at 70, almost 71. Yeah, we were at 71.50 when we were making a 382 retracement in that puppy. And boy, oh boy, I mean, when that thing they didn't take any prisoners. I mean, they just literally said, let's take her down. And boy, it did. Let me just show it to you because I happened to be dancing with that one last night. And we'll just get up here to take a quick look at it so you can see it. In fact, it hit it. This is what's great about it, is it hit it 3 times over a 3-hour period. It hit it at 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and 12 o'clock. And then boom, look what happened. The one that I'm talking about, let's just get it up here just a little better because after that one hit, the easy one to do was this one right here. Let me get this up right here. You'll be able to see it. The same thing occurred here. Where are you? Hold on just a minute. Oh, come on. There it is right there, I hope. Yeah. Where is it? Back one. Hold on. Sorry. This is today. This is the 19th. I got to go back a little farther because it was early in the middle of the night. There's the one I wanted to show you. Right there's the first one. Here's the second one. This was the good one right here. Pull it up and you'll be able to see the same thing. It went against you a total of about 20 points and then gave up the ghost and quite a bit. So that's you don't get them all like this, but by golly, sometimes when you do, it makes you feel like you're doing something right. So that's it. Anyway, we're going to do that on the 11th and the 18th, 2 days instead of one. The main reason is I want to do the thing with the put some crypto stuff in there because it's going to be getting interesting if it unfolds like John thinks it's going to, and he's been pretty spot on what's going to happen with it. And there may or may not be an opportunity there. All I know is that we know we don't have to risk very much, and if it's right, it'll be really right. And if it's not, it won't be. So we got to keep that in mind as we go through and look at some of these things. So we'll keep that on your calendar. And we will have the main goal, of course, is to make some money. We've done 3 of these. They've done very well. Those 3, whether we do it as good on these next 2 days, I don't know. But I want to do 2 days instead of one. And that'll be my last one probably until next year would be my guess. But we'll just do 1 day at a time, as they say in the old Bible. Okay, now another question that someone asked me was about the price of platinum. And folks, I tell you, I don't trade platinum, but it had an absolute perfect Gartley. We referred to that last week. I think Mr. Z was the one that was in there doing the selling on it. And I think that when you see this, you'll see that it was about as clear as you could possibly be. And then when you watched it with the combination of silver dropped $1, folks, with gold making new highs, silver recovery highs. Silver dropped $1, and today silver dropped 50 cents. And when gold rallied $20, silver couldn't even rally a dime. Boy, that's negative action. That is flat out negative action. That's where the market feedback can be, really, really important. Now we're going to have Shane Smollian on here. I'm anxious to hear, what the Fed's doing to protect us, protect our backsides here. But whether he does or not, I don't know. We'll find out that Mr. Fed is going to help us. But those are just a few of the things. Any questions? 877-927-6648, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. And we'll keep Al on the go for getting the people to answer the phone if he gets a chance here. So we'll have Shane Smollian on in just a moment. I want to bring this one chart up here that I will be discussing tomorrow. I won't be discussing it today. I will not be able to be here on Wednesday, folks, that's the time for the old folks. Is my usual physical stuff that I go in for my checkup and stuff, and I'm in great health. I want to keep it that way, but I want to go over this tomorrow. This is from the Elliott Way folks, some of the things that have happened and how the market handled it and stuff. So I think it's interesting to go through some of the history of this, because this is how we learn. Because if you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it. I think that was Napoleon that said that, and we'll move on. All right, we'll take a little break here. I believe the music's just about ready to start, and we'll have the Shane Man, the Wolf Trader, will be on next to talk to us about the Federal Reserve.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have the Shane Man, Mr. Wolf Trader, on the line. Shane, are you there?
Hey, Larry, how are you today?
I'm living the dream, baby. Tell me, is the Fed got the lifeline out yet?
Not yet, but we'll get into that. They're definitely
Okay.
we've been able to see this since July the 6th for the S&P. So I'm just going to go through a few topics before we get to the S&P. We'll talk about the gold standards that we're establishing now. We have a new stock ETF service for the Fed's use, and then we'll get to the S&P and gold. Before we get started, I do want to caution people about using information fragments. The forecasting method that we use is a combination of the Fed and cycles. So this Fed information can change from day to day. So if you get your information on a weekly basis, there's gaps in between this. So I just want everybody to know that it's not, I don't have a service where I just make a broad-based forecast for the month. I pay attention to what's going on a daily basis with the Fed. So just something to pay attention to. So first of all, I want to talk about the concept of simplification. This is really important to simplify what you're doing. That's not to say you don't expand and try new ideas, but you always want to simplify and come back to a gold standard with what you're doing. So this is a picture of Bruce Lee, and his martial art Jeet Kune Do was simply about simplifying. And he was the master of that, researching his experience and then rejecting what doesn't work, accepting what does work. And I actually studied this art back in the 90s. I went back and I met a lot of his original students. So he had a big influence on what I do. But when we're talking about the S&P, we've narrowed it down to these three gold standards here, which is the Fed use internals, the double optimized lunar cycle, and the optimized Bradley. And so when we look at this on the chart now, we can see very clearly that these are the three players that we want to focus on. Now, this blue arrow right here is the Fed use internals. That's the one that's driving the show right now. They shut this down on July the 6th, and the S&P is moving lower, of course, as we see today. So we're ahead of the curve on this, and our subscribers were able to see what was going on here. So next, so you also see down here, there's two buy signals down here. Take a little bit of a recovery here, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, when we're talking about other charts, we look at the Fed juice and the double optimized lunar cycle as our gold standards. So you can see here on this chart, this is copper, and these two indicators run together beautifully. The red indicator is the Fed juice here, which is in a sell since 712, and the green one is the double optimized lunar. So everything we do here is about keeping things simple and keeping things direct and to the point. So I want to talk about a new service that we're starting, which is a stock and ETF service. So we've had a lot of people request different symbols. So we're starting a daily letter with the Fed Juice 3.0, and these are going to be updated daily on the website. So I want to build a portfolio of about 10 stocks, and we're also going to track some penny stocks and the meme stocks like AMC and GameStop. But so you have these two parts of the service, this portfolio and then the meme and the penny stocks. The criteria that I want to start with this service, just to let people know, it must optimize well with the Fed use. So one of the advantages of using stocks is that you have a very large universe of symbols to choose from. Whereas with futures, you're kind of limited. You kind of got to go with what you have. So I'm focusing on these highly liquid stocks and ETFs. And I'm going to assume $10,000 per symbol. So we're going to build up to about 10 symbols. So I'm looking to get a portfolio of about 10 symbols. So the symbols that we're looking at are right now that we have are gold miners, Apple, Tesla, Caterpillar, and Broadcom. And we're going to add about 5 more to those. So this is what some of these charts look like. This is the gold miners right here. This has been in a sell since July the 1st on this Fed juice. And you can see that it caught this downtrend very nicely. Gold had that move where it looked like it was trying to go higher, but the Fed juice remained in the sell. And it definitely caught that move correctly. So the Fed juice is very good at sniffing out false moves, and it kept gold miners on the correct side. So we've had the gold miners running since December, and this is the strongest one so far. Now we also have Tesla. We just started running this on June the 28th. And so this has just been in a kind of a back and forth. This isn't a buy right now today. This is one of the things that makes me think we may get a short-term bounce here. Caterpillar is another one. This is one that we just added on the 30th. This actually is going into a buy today. I don't have it updated here on the chart, but that's going into a buy. And then Apple has been in a buy since June the 18th. So this is, and by the way, this is not changing into a sell today. So I don't know if this particular move down is going to be the big move in the S&P. I think we might have to wait a little bit on that until we get into maybe get into later into the month or early August. Here's the chart with Caterpillar. This is the updated chart. This actually is going into a buy today as we are looking at this. All right, so let's take a look at the market updates. So S&P. S&P Fed juice internals are in a sell. They've been in a sell since July the 6th. The sell signals were stacking up, but we do have those astro signals now trying to come in and make a low. The S&P has been extremely volatile, and the fear and greed index is peaking with price. This is very unusual to see the fear and greed index going up with the S&P. Usually it goes the other. The fear usually goes down as the market goes up, but we're actually seeing the opposite now. And tech is starting to make a little bit of a turn here. So we take a look at the fear and greed index here. This is the one that I use. This is actually down below 20 now, so we're at 19. So this is another reason I think we may be coming into a short-term bounce into here. So, you know, when this gets down under 20, the chances of a bounce increase on the S&P. But this is very strange for us to be at such a low level near all-time highs. That's typically not what we expect to see with financial markets. All right, so next slide. This is the big chart that we show all the time with the Fed internals. So essentially, this chart here shows the activities and flows of the Federal Reserve. In this graph here, this different series of time periods here. You can see this is the Fed. And you can see here on 7/6, the Fed shuts this off. They shut down the juice, and then the market follows very closely after that. So we know that once the Fed shuts off the juice, the S&P likely will not go higher. It will probably struggle, and most of the time it does follow lower. So you can go all the way back to 9/30. This is September the 30th. The same pattern ensues. It goes into a buy. The market rallies. 10/15, they shut it off right before the election. And then 11/4, the day after the election, they turn it back on. Usually these rallies last between 2 to 4 weeks, okay? But sometimes they can be a little quicker, like this one was 2 days in November. And then you can see here in January 15th, they shut it off. It takes a few days, comes down, they turn it back on. Market rallies, they turn it off here, market falls. And then on 2/26, notice they turn it on. It actually comes back down, but then eventually the Fed wins. It goes back up. Now, there is one time in here on this graph where it actually failed since September. This was on 3/25. It goes into a sell, and the market actually rallied against the Fed. So you could say the market was strong in this case, and then eventually the Fed turns this back into a buy on April the 5th, and so on.
Hey, stay with us, my friend. Shane Smalley, wolftrader.com. We'll be right back with more.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with the Wolfman himself, the Wolf Trader, Shane Smollian. Please continue, my friend.
Sure. And I did want to make a point about on the ETF service. When you're talking about the Fed juice, this system doesn't work with stops because you're tracking the flows of the Fed. And so when you try to use limits and stops on these, when you're determining the signal, it disrupts the signal. Now, we do have services that do use very specific limits and stops, such as the Fast Fed, the Easy Timer, and the K2. So I just want to point that out. This is a broad-based picture that I'm trying to paint for you here. All right, so on 6/21, I want to go back a little bit. This was right after the last Fed meeting. You can see the market starts selling off. Gold took a big hammer after that meeting, but the S&P was starting to falter on the Friday. And then on 6/21, right here, the Fed came in and turned it completely around. And so that happened on the Monday. I don't see that just yet on the S&P. I still see the Fed relatively weak, although I think they are starting to pick up the steam here behind the scenes, but I don't see a move like I saw on 6/21. So just for whatever that's worth, that's just kind of where we are right now with this. So there is much more danger, I think, out into August, which, I talk about with my subscribers quite a bit, the exact dates and whatnot. But this might just be the first move, and then it tries to come back and retrace. But, as long as that blue arrow is down, the S&P is going to struggle. So I do talk about that a lot too. Now, we did have, for example, this was a trade we had last night. This was the Fast Fed. It definitely has very specific targets and stops. So you can see here, this is the target in green down here. This is the stop up here. And we're only trading our other trading systems with the larger trend. So, for example, the Fed use the internals is in a sell, so we're only focusing on short trades right now on the S&P. It's kind of rare to get that set up. It typically doesn't happen too much on the S&P. So now let's talk about the metals. So I know a lot of people are interested in gold and the metals. They are entering positive seasonals, but they're lagging a little bit here. So the seasonal lows are coming in, but the Fed juice has been in a sell. So this has set up a strange situation where you have conflicting signals. But I always say that when there is a doubt, that you should defer to what the Fed juice is doing. Okay, so it's possibly trying to bottom here, but we need the Fed juice to confirm what is going on here for us. So this is gold. So you can see here on the chart what's been going on. So we had this big sell-off here. This was after the Fed meeting here. The Fed juice was in a sell, and then it dips down here. Now notice this rally has been very anemic. It's been kind of just crawling back and forth, but the Fed juice never went into a buy. And so because of this, I was telling my subscribers, be very careful about this, because the Fed juice is in a sell, which likely means that the trend is down. And so what happened here, gold got hammered here. Gold came off those highs and came back down. Now, the problem with this is that you do have positive seasonals coming up here. You do have a positive lunar. So there's kind of a tug of war going on back and forth here with gold. But I don't like a long position unless the Fed juice is in a buy. And right now it's not in a buy, it's in a sell. So We just have to be cautious with that. Silver is saying a very similar picture. Silver is headed lower on the Fed juice, and until that Fed juice goes into a buy, it doesn't move. You don't get big trends without the Fed juice, and when you get big breakdowns, they usually occur in the direction of the Fed juice. So back here on June the 16th, when you did get that big break, it's in the direction of the Fed juice. Same thing on copper today. The Fed juice was in a sell, and it looked like it was just kind of going sideways, but where did the big break come? It came in the direction of the Fed juice. You see down here, here's your Fed juice down here. Here's where copper broke down specifically with the Fed juice. So just some things to consider there on that. Now, we are tracking our new Astro inversion model, which tracks, it takes planetary cycles, and we look for inversions. So this is kind of like the holy grail of forecasting, because cycles don't always work, Larry. As you know, the Bradley inverts, and you can get these situations where, the Bradley people are just focusing on the turns. So on gold right now, this still shows gold in an uptrend. It hasn't showed it turning down just yet. So this is another conflict with the Fed juice, which is why gold is kind of zigzagging back and forth like this. But in the end of the day, the Fed juice really is the one that's going to dictate the direction of the dominant trend. We also have this for the S&P. We just started this, so June 29th, it goes into a buy, and then on July the 6th, it goes into a sell. So we've been tracking this. It's doing very well. It's ahead. And so right now, this is still in a sell too. And so the reason why this is inverted is because if you look up here on this chart, you can see that when you look at this graph, you can see that this cycle is on the rise like this, yet the S&P is falling. You see that? So because that's the case, it's inverted. And so this is what we're trying to pick up, because, when you look at these cycles, when you have the Fed involved and you have all of this chaos coming in with the computer trading and all of these different algorithms, it can cause these cycles to invert. So this is one of the things that we're really trying to look into here. If we have time, we'll look at oil here. So oil, energy summary real quick here. Oil isn't, the Fed juice is in a sell. The Fed juice picked up this decline very well. Oil's hitting a seasonal high. Natural gas is in a buy. So they're kind of mirrors of each other. So let's look at oil first here. This is the oil chart here. So you can see that the Fed juice goes into a buy back here on July the 7th, and it's been in a buy ever since. Okay, so again, the Fed juice is the dominant feature that we look at. So this has been in a sell since July the 7th, and so it's heading lower. Now we did come into seasonal highs into here on oil, so oil is doing an expected pullback here, and of course that's always very nice when the Fed juice is moving with oil there. So this is natural gas. Natural gas is making kind of a mirror opposite of this. Natural gas is making a little breakout today. The Fed juice is in a buy on 7/15. The double optimized lunar cycle is in a buy on 7/16, and you can see natural gas is breaking out here. Natural gas on the weekly scale tends to run opposite of the S&P. So when the S&P struggles, a lot of times natural gas goes the opposite way. So this kind of makes sense given what's going on right now with our S&P 500.
Wow,
all right.
That's a lot of information.
Sure. You want to look at, do we have any questions from anybody?
Oh, we have a question on the gold. What is your longer-term view of the gold market?
Okay, that's an excellent question. Let's talk about this. So here's how I feel about this. Gold is in a situation right now where it's in this tug of war. The Fed just doesn't want it to go higher, but you do have positive seasonals. You do have this Astro right here positive. My feeling on gold is that, if this gold goes just sideways in the next couple of months, okay, if it doesn't break out, then you could really start to see some issues coming in later September, because gold is in a period right now where it's supposed to be rallying. It's in a positive seasonal and it's not doing it. So, I think gold still has a chance. If the Fed juice can cross into a buy, then, we have a chance here to run up here into August, September. But so far, that's not happening. And so we have to pay attention to what the Fed is telling us right here. And the Fed is telling us that, gold it does not want to go higher right now. And so that's just what it is. Once this turns up, I think we have a chance. Now, the strength of this rally will determine where we'll go after September.
Thank you. Stay with us, Shane. We'll be right back, folks. wolftrader.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're back with Shane Smalley of thewolftrader.com. Shane, do you have any webinars coming up?
Oh, yes. We have one this Saturday at 1 o'clock, and it's on the YouTube channel, so it's Wolf Trader Futures. You can go there. I usually post the webinar around Wednesday or Thursday, so it's about an hour in length, and we answer questions, and we cover different topics. So this Saturday at 1 o'clock, we will be there. Last Saturday, we talked about the new service. I will be talking about that this week, too. It's going to be coming out in the next week or two, the new stock service. So that's coming up.
Well, this is terrific. Now, listen, we want to have you on again soon, so you take care of yourself out there. It's a jungle. You got to be careful.
Especially with the Fed. But if you guys want to be on the right side of the Fed, you know where to find us because we'll help you navigate through these waters. So you can reach me at Shane@wolftraderfutures.com, www.wolftraderfutures.com, or www.fedjuice.com. The YouTube channel, again, for the webinar is Wolf Trader Futures, and the Twitter is @WolfTrader, FUTU1. And I will be posting sample charts here of those ETFs. They look really good. And I feel like it's going to be a success. I think, the fact that we can choose so many of these stocks to add is a big bonus here. So that's very exciting, and that's coming up. So definitely join us this Saturday at 1 o'clock. And so, again, if you go to the website, this is what it looks like, wolftraderfutures.com. And we have all our different services up here. Or you can also go to the site and chat. There's a chat there. You can ask me questions if you have any questions about the service. It installs on the phone, so that's pretty cool. So we can talk one-on-one.
Okay, we'll have you on again soon, my friend. So take care of yourself.
Thanks, Larry. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Okay. By the way, folks, the Russell is holding up. It's hit 3 standard deviations. If you check the newsletter this week, we said that the Russell should probably find support around 2105, and by golly, the support so far today has been 2105. Even with the Dow dropping another couple hundred points, the Russell has held up relatively well. So I'll probably be hey.